So far it's been a bit of a damp squib, as we say in English.
The second World Championship game between Anand and Gelfand ended in a draw, just like the first. Today not much happened really, and so the start of the match hasn't been too exciting for the fans. Here's how the players explained it.
Originally, I think the position was supposed to be better for white just after bishop e3, but I had actually checked this and found that bishop f5 gives reasonable. I mean, the drawing tendency to opposite color bishops are important, but it's. I think bishop f5 is exact. There are other moves where my pieces simply get pushed back to back squares. On the very next move after knight e4, well, I could make an effort to keep the bishop, but I was afraid that something could go wrong there. And I decided that rook f8 would be safe enough. When he went bishop c5, briefly I thought that this might be unpleasant, but very soon I realized that white cannot use the advantage of the bishop versus the knight in any way.
Да, с дебюта мне удалось получить буквально, можно сказать, символический перевес. И я так опасался, что вообще не удастся поставить проблему. Но как-то какое-то время удавалось поддерживать напряжение, но мне кажется, вот очень грамотное решение было отдать слона, потому что иначе как-то я мог как-то нападать, то есть, да, и после чего, то есть мне надо сохранить одну ладью со слоном против одной ладьи с конем, но только в очень выгодной редакции. Но как-то выгодной редакции не получилось сохранить.
One journalist asked if the players knew that of their first game, 19 out of 24 moves had been played before in a game between computers. Gelfand said, "There are millions of games in chess databases that were played by computers, and it's impossible and unreasonable to study all 5 million games." Vishy Anand's answer was quite to the point.
Yeah, it seems that computers don't have anything else to do with their lives.
After the second game, we asked Nigel Short, former World Championship contender and still a 2700 grandmaster, what he thought of the start of the match.
Slightly disappointing. They've not been. The games have had their moments. They've had some interest, but they have petered out quite quickly. So short games. I don't think they will be studied at great length in the decades and centuries to come. People will observe and then move on. And then there is this issue of the length of when you have two very technical players like this, you're going to have a lot of draws. They are not risk takers by nature.
You expect many more draws?
Yeah, I do actually. I do. Yeah, there will be wins. There'll be wins on both sides, but I'm actually expecting most of the games will end in draws, as most do actually among top players. Their styles are like that. It's rather correct.
A much quoted statistic is that Boris hasn't won a classical game against Anand in a very long time, in the early 90s. But you think he will manage in this match?
Yes.
What does it take to beat Anand for him in this year?
Well, just a little bit more. It doesn't take that much more. A little more precision, some slight extra problems, and it can happen. It can easily happen. He makes mistakes. He's human. He's very, very strong, but he's also human. So so far it's been a bit of a damp squib, as we say in English. It's as expected, actually, that you're not really anticipating great pyrotechnics, and just when I was getting excited yesterday, the game suddenly ended with a exchanging sequence. But objectively, I suppose it was justified. But objectively, the chess is a draw on move 1. So you can say, well, why bother to continue if it's a draw anyway?